Hi everyone, good morning. As you can see, it's a really nice background that we have today. So hopefully this inspires you just a little bit more. So let's get started with Pilates. Today might be a slightly shorter class because we started slightly later. So let's go ahead and start with our feet underneath our pelvic bones, which is the protruding bones where your hips are. Okay, my name is Felicia. Thank you for joining me this Sunday for a really quick, maybe intermediate Pilates class. So allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears, hands just gently, loosely hanging by the side of your hips. Then if you like to, you can always close your eyes for a few moments. Then notice your breath. Try to inhale through the nose, feel your lungs. Then as you exhale, thoroughly exhale, squeezing every single ounce of air out of your lungs before you take the next breath in. Noticing as you inhale, you're growing a little taller through the crown of the head. The exhale, shoulders melting away from your ears, grounding feet firmly in towards the mat. Next time you inhale, blink your eyes open. Then as you exhale, just allow yourself to settle into the mat. Okay? Now, as you take a next inhale, again, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, chin towards your chest, soften your knees. A gradual roll down, so Pilates roll down, allowing the spine to melt off an imaginary wall behind you. You don't have to touch the ground. Then you're going to slowly stack the spine up from the lower spine, mid-spine, upper spine, back of the skull. One more time here, and in breath. Then as you exhale, chin towards chest, scoop the belly in, maybe drawing the last rib bone away from your hips, so you can actually feel the roundedness of your spine. Then as you rise up, slowly stacking lower spine, mid-spine, upper spine. So we're articulating the spine right here. Next time you breathe in, both arms reaches up. Then as you exhale, cactus your arms, elbows by the side of your shoulders. Inhale, pull chest forward. Exhale, rounding in. That's it. Now from side profile, you are slightly opening up through your heart. Then exhale, rounding in. One more time, inhale. Now stay here. As you exhale, sweep hands behind you, interlace all 10 fingers. I'm going to show you how I'm interlacing my fingers from behind. You don't have to turn around, alright? So if you can touch the heels of your palms, go ahead, do so. But if you cannot, please don't force yourself, okay? So starting to just open the chest, starting to push the knuckles down. Arms are straight as they can be, but if your elbows are still bent, that's completely fine, alright? Try not to force the body into moving into a particular shape that you feel is not accessible. So you always want to make sure that every single move, you can actually make it a little bit more accessible to you instead of trying to muscle your way through. The next time you inhale, arms all the way up. Then as you exhale, side bend to your right. So starting to lower the right palm down by the side of your thighs, reaching left arm by the side of your ear. Can you straighten the arm instead of bending the top arm? So try to see whether you can actually take the top arm in tandem with the upper ear. As you breathe in next, both arms up. Then as you exhale, side bend to your left. Just coming to a side bend, reaching as much as you can. Now the idea is to lengthen your spine up first, then side bending. So you don't compress into the sides of the spine. Inhale, arms up. Then exhale, hands by the side of your hips. Now we're going to take our feet slightly wider than the hips, toes pointing 45 degrees, opening up. Now knees gently bending. Lengthen your spine. So from side profile, it almost looks as if there is an imaginary wall behind you and you're leaning your spine against the wall instead of this. So if you have a tendency of always tipping your tailbone back, can we try to tuck the tail under? Then lengthen your spine a little bit more. Hug the belly and the ribs in. Okay? Hold it there, making sure knees are in line with the toes. Sink a little bit deeper if you like. Then bring it all the way up. Now, friends who are feeling like this actually hurts your knees, just be mindful. Don't sink too deeply. So you want to take it very gentle, top half. Or if you want to make this a short, sharp, pretty intense class, then I would say go to your deepest that you can, then halfway up. So you're consistently just creating a little bit more pressure and heat into your thighs. Same concept, it's like you're sliding up and down an imaginary wall. Okay, keep going. That's it. Breathing well. Nice and easy breath. You got 2 more here. Great work. Last one, sinking down, rising up. This time, heel toe your way in. Have your feet underneath your hip bones or your pelvic bones. Then slide your hands forward, bending the knees. Side profile, try as much as you can. Lean your shoulders back, hug your belly and your ribs in, tuck your tail under. So if you look down, you should be able to see your toes. But to be honest with you, even if your knees are kind of over the toes, it's completely fine as well. Starting to notice what actually gives you that edge to work the front of your thighs a little bit more, your glutes, without hurting your knees. So sink a little bit deeper, maybe halfway up, or maybe if you like to rest, you can always stand all the way up, just like this, right? So sinking down, rising up. Can we try to inhale either on the way down and inhale or exhale on the way up, so you're consistently breathing instead of holding your breath at any point of time? You got 3 more here. Can you start to feel the heat building up in your thighs? I hope you can. Last 2. Last one. Now sink low, hold it there. Stay low, nice and easy. Starting to just root into 3 corners of both feet. So those are called your foot centers. Shoulders away from the ears. Hug the belly in even more, tucking tail under. 1 more breath in here. Now slowly keep the knees up. Forward fold. Walk your hands down your legs. Maybe fingers onto the mat, maybe onto your shin. I'm going to leave it up to you. Knees can bend as much as you wish to. Now starting to lengthen the back of the neck by tucking your chin closer towards your chest. If you feel like this is quite uncomfortable because you find that blood rushing to your head makes you feel a little dizzy, your hands can always be on your chin. Sorry, your shin, not your chin, alright? Hands on your shin. Then you can actually keep your head above your heart level, alright, if you wish. If not, come into a nice forward fold. That's it. Now, if your hands are on the ground, your option to keep them on the ground or plunge your elbows onto your thighs like what I'm doing. Okay? As you inhale, straighten the right leg, reaching right hand up towards the sky. As you exhale, right elbow back to your thigh. Left hand lengthens up, straighten left leg. Can you feel the stretch through the back of your left thigh? Come back down. So imagine if your hands are on the ground, the same thing applies. Straighten right leg, right fingers reaches up. Exhale, right fingers down. Straighten left leg. Left hand reaches way up high. Exhale. You got 2 more times. Right hand reaches up. Right leg straight. So right hand down or right elbow onto your thigh. Then change sides. The left hand reaches up. That's it. Both hands down. Plunge your palms down onto the mat. Soften your knees. Step back into a plank position. From a plank position, lower your knees down. Walk your hands perhaps 1 step back. So you're in a tabletop position. Now all 10 fingers spread out wide, please. Okay? Then just making sure that your palms are directly underneath your shoulders. As you inhale, ripple your spine into an arc spine, so leading through the tailbone first. As you exhale, tailbone leading the way, come into a rounded spine. So everything I'm doing today has less, I would say, cues because we have been doing this for quite a while. But if you're really new to Pilates and you find that the cues doesn't make sense to you because you're not too sure what 3 foot centers are, you're not too sure what rippling the spine is, then I do recommend that you actually watch the earlier videos, possibly 2 to 3 months back, because I always start with at least 1 month of basics with the Pilates lingo before I start to make it just slightly harder, okay? So just be really mindful of the way that you're rippling your spine into an arc spine and a rounded spine. Noticing that you're consistently breathing in through your nose, the exhale out through your mouth. Now 1 more round in an arc spine. Then as you exhale or inhale, up to you, come back into a neutral spine. Now flat back, chest is kind of lifted away from the mat as much as you can. Walk your knees in a little bit more towards each other. Then stretch the right leg to the back of the mat. So the back of my mat is where my right toes is pointing to. Remember, puff the shoulders. You don't want to land the weight directly into your shoulder blades or your shoulders itself. Then starting to claw your finger pads into the mat, so you're not dumping your entire weight into your wrist. Okay? If you're fairly stable, reach your left hand forward, left bicep beside the ear instead of underneath your face. Try to lift the right leg a little higher, more energetically. As you exhale, knee and elbow to touch. Let's go 5 times here. 5. Come into extension first. Please take your time, don't rush. 4. Knee and elbow to touch. If you're losing your balance, may I invite you, left palm down, just move your right knee in towards your chest, and as you do, round the spine like I'm doing. Okay? If not, keep sending your left elbow and right knee towards each other. Now you got one more time here. Knee in towards your chest. Great work. Come back into extension first. Hold it there. If you haven't landed your left palm down, land the left palm down. Listen, left toes, turn it outside. Then lift your right arm up towards the sky. So we're in the supported side plank variation. If you like to stay here, if your right fingers reaching up, go ahead. If not, reach your right fingers towards the top of the mat. So you want to notice that my right shoulder is stacking above the left. If you're collapsing downwards like this, it's really hard to actually start to feel that synergy, all right? So pull the right shoulder back. Then as you reach, you can actually feel the right side body lengthening itself. Can you float the right leg a little higher? Hold it there. Now, as you exhale, right tiptoes touches down towards the mat. Then lift the leg up again. That's it. Keep going, keep going. Can you claw into your left finger pads? So you're starting to distribute the weight, not through the left wrist, but also through the fingers itself. That's it. You got 2 more times here. Nice. Now the next time you land the right tiptoes down, stay there. Plant the whole foot completely down onto the mat. Alright? Now starting to reach your right fingers up towards the sky, stacking right shoulder over left. This is really important. Now the next thing that's important, plant the outer right foot deeply into the mat. Then through that foundation, lift the body up, arms parallel to the ground. Okay? Now if you haven't noticed, I have my left knee underneath my left hip. My right leg is straight. I'm planting the outer edge of my right foot, which is here, in towards the mat, so that the arc of the right foot is actually peaking. Hold it there. Palm flips up towards the sky. Reach fingers up towards the sky. Then as you exhale, cactus your arms. Hold it here. From here, chest forward, elbows to pull back. Exhale, scoop the belly in, elbows touching. You got 3 more here. Open up through the chest. Exhale. Nice. Last 2. Exhale. Great work. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Next time you inhale, sweep both arms up. This time, right hand grabbing onto left wrist. Please side bend towards your right. So it's towards that straight leg. Try not to collapse the left shoulder down. Your chest is still facing to wherever you're facing to, that longer side of the mat. Stay there, just reaching. So right hand can pull the left fingers up and away, then side bending to the right. Nice. One more breath in here. Then as you exhale, release the arms. Plant your palms back to the top of the mat. Step back into a plank position. Stay in a plank position, knees down or on your toes. We're going to land our body down. Ready? In 4, 3, 2, and release. Now look forward, walk your hands forward. I'm only using my fingers to kind of reach forward as much as possible. Okay? Hold it there. Elbows and armpit off the mat. Look forward, stay there. Now watch my thighs. It's going to move up. And then it's going to float down. Every time you lift your thighs off the mat, squeeze your bum a little bit more, then lower down. That's it. Toes are untucked, so don't tuck your toes under. Good. You got 2 more times here. Lifting thighs off the mat. Elbows are still lifted off the mat, all right? One more time. Lift the thighs up. Hold it there. Stay. Now, option 1, just stay here. Option 2, float your fingers away from the mat. Reach forward like Superman. Then start to swim. Pedal arms and legs. Keep going. I won't be doing this because if I do it, I can't speak. So wherever you are, pedal your arms and your legs as much as you can. Stay there in pedaling arms and legs in 4. That's it. In 3. Keep going a little faster. Last 2. One more breath here. Push back into child's pose. Bum touches your heels, maybe. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Forehead can touch the mat. Or if you feel that you want to be slightly more lifted, you can always stack one fist over the other, like a pillow for your forehead. Then just breathe. Now slowly come back into tabletop position or 10 fingers spread out wide. Knees together, stretch your left leg to the back of the mat. Hold it here. Now from here, if you're starting to open your left hip out to the side, can you lower the left hip down, pitch the right hip up, then reach your right fingers forward if you're fairly stable, okay? Now we're going to crunch it in, elbow and knee to touch, 5. Again, if you're losing your balance, an invitation, right palm down, just starting to curl your left knee in towards your nose to round the spine. 3 more times, curling in. Great work. Reaching nice and long. Last 2. Scooping belly in. Great work. 1 more time here. Curling in. Come back into an extension first. Plant the right palm down if you haven't done so. Right toes on the outside of the mat. Then reach your left fingers up. We're in a supported side plank position. Hold it here. Reaching left fingers up brightly towards the sky, stacking left shoulder over right, lifting left leg a little higher. If available, reach your left fingers to the top of the mat. Just breathe well here. Nice, that's it. Now you're going to slowly lower the left tiptoes down, then float it up again. So again, this is actually easier with your left fingers reaching up, okay? But if you want to feel that nice stretch through the armpit, then reach your left fingers to the top of the mat. That's it. You got 2 more times here. Now, whichever option you choose, can you stack left shoulder over right. Hold it with your left foot floating off the mat. Stay there. Breathe well. From here, come down to your left tiptoes. Plant the left foot completely down onto the mat. Reach your left fingers up towards the sky. Then lift your torso up, hold it there. That's it. So starting to notice my right knee is underneath my right hip. Energize through your fingers, reaching from one end to the other. Shoulders melting away from your ears, alright? As you inhale, palms facing up, reach up. As you exhale, elbows cactus by the side of your shoulders. Inhale, chest forward, elbow pulls back. Exhale, rounding in. You got 3 more times here. Can you start to plant a little bit more into the outer left foot? All right? That's it. Last 2. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, reach arms all the way up. This time, left hand grabbing onto right wrist. Side bend towards your left, okay? So side bend towards that straight leg as much as possible. Just breathe. Starting to use your left hand to just pull your right fingers up and away. Can you feel that side stretch in your right waistline? 1 more breath in here. Then as you exhale, plant both palms back down onto the mat. Step back into the plank position. Downward facing dog is where we're going to meet. That's it. Great work. Now from here, we're going to slowly walk our feet forward towards our palms into a forward folding position. So we're facing towards the top of the mat. Take your time, alright? So you can soften your knees as much as you can. In fact, I do recommend that you actually bend your knees already. Feet hip width apart. So again, if you're not too sure what hip width apart is, Pilates hip width apart is your feet directly underneath your pelvic bones. Lower your bum down, bend the knees. Now keep your knees bent, then chest up, reaching hands forward. Scoop the belly and tail under. Tuck your tail. That's it. Hold it there. Now as you inhale, reach your fingers forward a little bit more. As you exhale, sweep your hands back. Lean your chest forward slightly more. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Move your shoulders back, fingers forward. Exhale. Reach fingers back, tip your chin forward, chest forward. 1 more time, inhale. Exhale. Now stay here with your fingers reaching back. Interlace all 10 fingers. Push your knuckles away from you. Same concept. If you can touch the heel of your palms, go ahead, do so. Stay there. Breathe well. Now, from here, we're going to stand all the way up. Leading through your right knee first. You're going to take your right knee in front of your right hip. Now, if you find that balance is a little bit, I would say, hard to move into today, you're welcome to release your hands and just have your hand on a wall or maybe the back of a chair or maybe on someone, okay? So hands can come onto your hips or still remain with your hands interlaced behind you, right knee in front of the right hip, okay? Again, if you find that this is too much for you, right tiptoes can be on the ground or somewhere in between, maybe just slightly off the ground. If you're coming to the so-called the most intense option, right knee is in front of the right hip. Get ready. Open right knee towards the side without turning the hips. Come back in again. Hug the inner thighs in. You got 2 more times. That's it. Great work. So friends, with hands interlaced behind you, you're going to find that it's harder to balance like this, right? Now hug the inner thighs back in, hold it there. Now still with hands behind you, interlace, or if you're really tired already, fingers can come to your hips, all right? Or on the chair, on the wall, up to you. You're going to straighten the right leg forward, rebend. That's it. You got 2 more times. Straighten the leg, rebend. Last one, straighten. Listen carefully. Rebend the right knee. Stack the right heel on left kneecap. Then we're going to sink down into a figure of 4 squat. So if your hands are not like mine, interlaced behind you, you can reach your hands forward. All right? If not, hold on to a chair again or to a wall, something that allows you to feel that stability. Friends, with hands behind, slowly release. Reach your hands forward, shoulders melting away from your ears. So that was a nice one for the shoulders. It's like a stretch, but also very intentional. Hold it there. That's it. Breathe well. Now listen carefully. I'm going to transit into a high lunge position, which means your right tiptoe is going to step all the way back, okay? If you need to step onto the ground to find foundation, you can. If not, try to transit gracefully with me without touching the right toes on the ground. You ready? Starting to straighten your torso up, reach the right leg back, lean your chest forward, then tiptoes down onto the mat, chest up. That's it. Now, can you start to widen the stance? So, left foot wiggle 1 step towards the left. Maybe wiggle the right tiptoes backwards a little bit more. Hold it there. Stay there. Breathe. Hands onto your hips. Now, option number 1, just stay here, please, all right? Especially if your right knee is hurting. Please either exit this or just stay here to strengthen the left quads. If you want to join me for something a little bit more intense, a little bit more dynamic, listen, lower the right knee to hover above the mat, then rise up again. That's it. You got 3 more here. 4 more here. Lift up. 3 more. Last 2. Great. Last 1. Bring it back up. Listen carefully. This time round, lean your chest forward 45 degrees. Plant your fingers down to frame the left foot. Then slowly lower the right kneecap all the way down. That's it. You can tuck the back toes or untuck. It really doesn't matter. But I want you to slowly start to wiggle the left foot 1 inch, 2 inch forward. Then sink the hips forward and down. So you can actually find that depth of that very nice long stance with your left foot and right kneecap. Plant your right palm down. Left fingers reaches up. Hold it there. That's it. Can you feel that stretch? Yeah? 1 more breath in here. Great work. This time round, plant the left palm down, framing the left foot. Lift the right kneecap. Step back into a plank position. Hold it there. Downward facing dog. Great work, guys. Get ready. Bend knees. Look forward. Baby step forward again. Now keep the knees very bent. Lower the bum down. Then rise up into a squat position like we've always done, all right? Now hands back as you inhale, chest forward, tipping chest forward. Then reach fingers forward, just leaning your back against an imaginary wall as much as you can. Inhale, shift forward, fingers back. Exhale, lean back. Last one, shift forward, hold it here. So hands are back. Either you interlace them or just keep them reaching back. If you're interlacing your hands, same thing, I'm going to encourage you to try and see whether you can actually touch the heel of your palms. Slowly stand all the way up. From your left knee leading first, left knee in front of the left hip. Same concept, if you cannot balance, release the hands. Hands either on your hips, it might make it slightly easier, or hand on a chair beside you or maybe a wall. Okay, this I'm going to leave it up to you. Optional, left tiptoes can be on the mat. If not, left knee in front of the left hip. Get ready. Open left knee towards the left side. 3. Hug it back in. Good. 2. Hug it back in. Last one. Hug the inner thighs back in. Stay here. Keep your hands where they are. Or in any other variation I spoke about, straighten the leg forward to any degree. Rebend. Now you're going to start to notice if your hands are interlaced behind you, there's less of a tendency to lean backwards as you would if your hands were on your hips. Yeah? Straighten, hold it there. Then rebend the left knee, stack the left heel on right kneecap. Again, you can actually keep your hands interlaced behind you, then sink down, or reach your hands forward. It might make it slightly easier. Okay? Stay here. That's it. Breathe. Now, friends with hands interlacing behind, slowly release that. Reach your hands forward. How is that for the shoulders right now? That's it. Now get ready, prepare yourself to go into high lunge any way that you like. So if you want to just transit your own way, you can. If not, gracefully rise up. Starting to reach your left tiptoes back. Then land the left tiptoes down. Hold it there. Now starting to just find that stable stance. So if it means wiggling the right foot forward and maybe one step to the right, go ahead. Maybe wiggle the left foot a little bit more towards the back. Hands reaching forward. Stay here. That's it. Hold it there. Then either hands on your hips or keep your hand maybe on the chair beside you. I'm going to leave it up to you. Focus on strengthening the front of your right thigh. If you are fine with dropping the left knee down, join me 5 times. Left knee bends, hovers above the mat. Rise up again. So this is a lunge. That's it. 4 more. 3 more here. Last 2. Great. Last one. Rise up. This time, lean the body forward. Plant the fingers down to frame your right foot. Drop your left kneecap down. Maybe start to wiggle the right foot forward slightly more. Shift weight forward. Sink your hips a little bit deeper. Now left palm, plant it down. Right fingers reaches up. It's a very simple twist here. Should feel a nice stretch as well in the outside of your right thigh. Then as you exhale, palm back down. Left knee off the mat. Step back into a plank position, downward facing dog. Great work. Now slowly come down to your knees, tabletop. Sit on your bum, kneeling position. Then I'm going to take a seat onto the mat, alright? So this time around, feet flat onto the mat. Just like this. Hands reaching forward. So we're coming towards the last part of the class already. I told you today's class was going to be very short, very sharp, very intense, kind of intense, a little bit more intermediate. Now, starting to scoop your belly in, rounding your spine. Just come a little bit lower, then come forward. That's it. Come down halfway again. Then shift forward. Last one here. Rolling back, hold it there, scoop your belly in. Listen, option number 1, palms down. If not, reach your hands forward. Then lift the right leg up to tabletop, left leg up to tabletop. So if my palms are down, this is how I'm going to look. If I reach my hands forward, this is how I'm going to look, all right? Stay there, just breathe. Nice and easy. Now, if you can, all right, you're going to straighten the right leg, lower down, bring it back up, rebend. Left leg straightens, lower down, bring it back up, rebend. So if your hands are behind, hug your elbows in. Try not to allow the elbows to open up like chicken wings, all right? Then straighten left leg, bring it down. That's it. Bring it up, rebend. Last 2, straighten right leg, bring it down, bring it up, rebend. Last one, hug the elbows in, bring it down, lifting up, rebend, hold it there. Now, if you haven't have your hands behind you, plant your palms onto the mat, then lower down to your forearms. Legs at tabletop position. Now, the idea is this. Present the chest forward instead of sinking down to your shoulder blades. So this is sinking down. I want it slightly more lifted. Okay? Now, you're going to straighten both legs 45. You're going to sink the legs down. Bring it back up again. Rebend. Option. You can just slowly straighten but still keep the knees bent. Lower down only a little bit. Then bring it back up. Then bend your knees a bit more. Okay? So your option, how straight the legs are, how low you want to go, really depends on how your lower back feels today. So if your lower back feels a bit funky today, can I please ask you to take the slightly easier option of keeping the knees bent and lowering the legs down only by a few inches or maybe just 1 inch. That's it. Last two. Bring it down. Can you feel your abs working? Last one. Extending, lower down. Bring it back up, rebend. Listen carefully, stay here. Straighten to any degree. This is your last 30 seconds for your ab work. Then crisscross. Let's go. That's it. Keep going. Nice. In 8. In 7. In 6. In 5. Last 4. 3. Last 2. One more. Rebend the knees. Step the feet down. Come into a cross-legged position. Lengthen your spine. Reach arms up. As you exhale, hands behind. Interlace all 10 fingers. Push your knuckles down. Present chest forward. So by this time, right, your shoulders should be a little bit looser for you to come into a more intense stretch. Presenting chest forward. Slowly release. Great work. Guess what? We're into the stretch portion already, okay? Before we start to just breathe and end the class, okay? So I'm coming around to face you. You don't have to face me because I'll be stretching my legs out and I want you to have your heel always on the mat. So if it's on the ground, it might be quite painful, all right? So I'm going to ask you to stretch your right leg out. I'm your mirror image right now. Step your left foot into your inner right thigh. Then face your chest towards your bent knee, which is your left knee, okay? Use your fingers to prop yourself up to lengthen your spine first. Hold it there. That's it. Now, when you're ready, you're going to face towards that extended leg. Using your left hand, can you reach to the outside of your thigh? So not the kneecap, but the thigh, okay? From here, you're going to twist a little bit more, facing your chest towards the right. You can either stay here, or if you feel that you want a deeper stretch, walking your left fingers forward down to the side of your calf, maybe reaching to the outside of your foot. Then just allow that stretch to just magically come right through. That's it. It's not I would say it's not the hardest of all stretches, but also it shouldn't feel so easy that you don't feel a single thing. If you can't reach to the outside of your foot, remember hands can just be on the outside of the calf. Okay? One more breath in here. Slowly release. We're going to change to the other side. So extend your left foot. Right foot. Stepping into your inner left thigh. So there's a tendency I notice that when people do this, they tend to have the foot underneath the thigh. So instead of doing that, I want the foot to step into the inner left thigh right now. I'm your mirror image again, okay? Now face towards your right side. Just lengthen through the spine. So if you're rounding in already, can you lengthen upwards? So grow a little taller through the crown of your head. Then slowly facing towards the extended leg. Reaching your right hand on the outside of your left thigh. Either stay here or crawl your hands down your leg, maybe grabbing onto the outside of the foot. Again, you don't have to grab onto the outside of the foot, just to where you can hold on to. That's it. Kick your heel away from you, just finding that nice big stretch through the back of your left thigh. You should also feel this on your right side body as well, especially through the arm that's hooking onto that foot or the ankle. Now slowly rise up again. Come back into a cross-legged position. Well done, guys. Now sitting up nice and tall. Hands onto your thigh first. Allow your feet to be slightly further away from each other, but heels closer towards your groin. Hands back, just opening up through the chest. Maybe a slight wiggle, right, left, right, left. We're here right now to the end of the class. So 3 breaths in order to close the class off, all right? So just breathe into your spine first, just noticing that creation of space in between the bones of your spine. Get ready, inhale, both arms reaching way up high. Exhale. 2 more times, inhale, reaching arms all the way up. Exhale. Last breath in here. Inhale, arms up. And exhale. Great work. Thank you so much for joining me today. Pretty short session, but hopefully you also got a little bit out of it. So a little bit of movement, or even 15 minutes of movement, is always better than doing nothing. So please be consistent. And if you can, do be consistent in joining me every Sunday at 11 a.m. All right? Big thank you, and I'll see you really soon. Stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.